Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Take on Tottenham. My name is Ben, and this is my take on Tottenham. And full-time result: Chelsea 2, Tottenham nil. I wish it was the other way around, but no. Full-time result: Chelsea 2, Tottenham nil. Disappointing. Very we're speaking about defeat for the first time since Antonio Conte took over. Which has been a very nice feeling. Of course, it's been very nice. Some not to say they've not that we've not had frustrating performances or bad performances or anything like that, but I think today, I think if you were going to look on the calendar and pick a game that Spurs were going to lose, that unbeaten run, you would have probably picked Chelsea away, because it's always a game that you just that we just lose. It just is. Just it's almost like an annual thing. Yeah, it is what it is. So, am I surprised? No. Am I frustrated? Yes. But we'll get into it. So, first, let's get into the starting lineup, really. So, we have Matt Doherty in, which I've got to be honest, not for. I don't even think ever, to be honest. I've been actually happy that he was selected, because I thought he was very good on Wednesday night against Leicester. I thought the 45 minutes he was on, he performed like the Matt Doherty that I think we all thought we were signing when we signed them from Wolves. So I wasn't too disappointed at that. I think Emerson's been really poor lately as well. So it's one of those that I wasn't too disappointed, really. I do think Spurs are struggling in the right right back area, hence why he's better in talks for Traore, but that's for another day. Ryan Sessegnon, I think that was probably the biggest surprise. Not that I've got an issue with Ryan Sessegnon, I really do like him. But to see Reguilon on the bench instead, and didn't even play actually, bit of an odd one. I didn't understand it personally. I understand why Conte changed things up. But for me, obviously, Reguilon's the first choice left wing back for me, so he has to start in this sort of game. But Sessegnon started. Winks as well was in there instead of Skip, and Steven Bergwijn, of course, was played from his heroics in Leicester the other night. And early on, I thought Sessegnon in particular was struggling on the left side. Sessegnon and Davies really struggling with Mount and Lukaku. Really just struggling with marking, and just Chelsea were threading it through. And as is always the way, every single time we go to Stamford Bridge, it's just trying to get through that first 10 minutes, because Chelsea always come flying out. Sometimes get early goals, sometimes don't, but they always just come straight out of the, and it's just, it kind of always is a mentality for Spurs just to try and hold on and weather the storm for that first couple of minutes. And really, as much as they did for the first half, and I thought they did well, Sessegnon and Davies were really struggling, with Mount in particular. Tanganga as well, not a great performance, not his worst in recent weeks, but not a great performance yet again. Chelsea had their chances. Spurs defended organised very well at times. Dyer was back in there as well today, which was really good to see. Winks had a shot from 25 yards. It was a good shot. Didn't trouble Kappa too much, but it was a good attempt. Bergwijn was looking bright as well. Whenever he got possession, he carried the ball well. He was making runs and everything, so that was really good to see. Sessegnon had a really good chance where he got fed through and he was running right through to the box. I think Højbjerg was running into the box, and it was like a cross shot combo thing. I don't really think Sessegnon knew what he was doing, and it just kind of went out for a goal kick right by the corner flag, which was really frustrating. And then let's get into the incident. So Harry Kane scored, and it was chalked off. I was really confused at the time what for, because Bergwijn went down off the ball, on on his own. He didn't have anyone around him. And then the goal was chalked off. So I was kind of thinking initially that the ref had pulled it back because he maybe thought that Bergwijn had got fouled. And I was like, oh no, don't do that. That's terrible. That's terrible. Luckily, it wasn't that. But it was for a foul. I don't know. It's gonna be one of these things, isn't it? It's probably gonna split opinion, and I'm sure it's gonna be a case of if you're a Spurs fan, you see it as a foul and a penalty. If you're a Chelsea fan, you see it as not a foul and a penalty. I want to say, if you're a Spurs fan, you don't see it as a foul, and and that one. And then if you're a Chelsea fan, you do see it as a foul. I don't know why it's a penalty. Kane had. To me, if that was Thiago's back, it just looked like that, and Thiago went flying forward. I think it was quite smart by Thiago. I think he's kind of bought the foul in that aspect. Everyone does it, It's not just Chelsea. It's not just Thiago. It's not just today. It happens every week in the Premier League. I don't know. I thought it was not a foul personally. I thought it was a very light contact, but again, then you have to question Spurs on the reaction, because I know they were moaning a lot about it. They really were, but I look at it and I was right. Need to react from that. It sucks, yeah, but move on from it, go from there, and try and get another goal. No point holding on to it because you're not going to get anything from it. And then second half, and then just normal service resume really at Stamford Bridge. Ziyech got it was a really good goal. I'm not going to take anything away from the goal. It was a really good strike. It looked like it was going to go over, and it just dipped at the last second and went in. Really good finish from Ziyech. I really like Ziyech. I think he's a great player. He's just not having like a real consistent good run of form, but I think he's a really good player. Tanganga, I thought, was beat too easily on the far side from Hudson-Odoi. Granted, he was already on a card, but he just still beat him way too easily. Sessegnon, Davies and Højbjerg just gave Ziyech so much time to just stop, pick out where he wanted it, and he just put the ball exactly where he wanted it. But they shouldn't have given that much time, so I think the blame kind of lies with Sessegnon and Davies in particular. Højbjerg was in the area too, so that could have been avoided if they'd just been a bit tighter on him. Lloris then made a really good save. Chelsea really started turning the screw at that point. Made another great save from Ziyech. We're really on the back foot. I did write down we need Skip. We're struggling in the middle, and then he came on literally minutes after. Doherty had a really good chance. Well, no, it wasn't Doherty's fault. Højbjerg fed passed through. Doherty was running through it. Really well-timed run, completely onside, and Højbjerg just put too much weight on the ball and it went straight out for a goal kick. Really frustrating. And I really feel like that's why Spurs were struggling the most today, was because their passing and their final ball, it just was really poor. The amount of passes that they just need to get right at the right time, they just didn't, and that's I feel like that was where their biggest weakness was today. They just lacked that final ball, that little bit of quality, and it's a bit of a shame, to be honest. I think Kane had a chance late on. It was really good. Good header from the corner. Really great save from Kepa. And from there it was kind of standard. Like I said, standard service for Chelsea. Like I said, I wasn't expecting a win at all today. But it wasn't as bad as the performance as there was in the Cup, for example. I thought Spurs gave a good account of themselves, but they just struggled at times, and Chelsea will punish you, of course. And like I said, it's a ground that we do terrible on anyway. So, it's frustrating. It's a frustrating loss, but again, I can't. It wasn't the worst performance I've seen. I've seen them perform way worse when they've won or draw in the last couple of months. So, we're going into the winter break now. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but no games for a little bit. So we'll be back in action on the 5th of February against Brighton in the FA Cup. And it's not too bad for Spurs. I know it sucked that they lost, but it's not too bad in the sense of the league because they've still got the games in hand. I think they've still got 4 games in hand over Chelsea. So even with this loss, if they won all those games in hand, they could still be up and around there. So while it's terrible, it's not the end of the world. So they sit 7th at the minute, but they're 2 points off 4th with 2 games in hand over United, I think. So it's still in our hands. But as you know, with Spurs, they don't like gifts; they like to ruin it for everyone. So we'll see. But if you like what you've seen, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you thought about the match below, and I will see you guys in that next game in February. We'll see how we go. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Spurs, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how we bounce back after a defeat. The third defeat in the Conte. We'll see how it all turns out. But yeah, first game back, cup game. See how we go. So I'll see you guys in that one. Please subscribe. Come on, Spurs.